Hey guys, welcome back to my week 6 weekly update for my weight loss journey. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and follow along. So here we go. All right guys, this week's going to be a little different. My son brought these home during one year's spring cleanup in the neighborhood. And when we do spring cleanup, we tend to take out our unwanted stuff and throw it at the end of the driveway, and a big loader comes along and picks it up and throws it in a dumpster. And he happened to find these beautiful weights. I mean, these are Bowflex. They're extremely expensive. My younger brother used to have a set of these, and I loved them when I visited his home out in Wasilla. The thing that's cool about them is you got these little adjustments over here on the side, and you can, pick and choose, what weight you want. So let's say I want a lightweight. I'll pick, 5 pounds. I just set that to 5 over there. I set that to 5 over there, and these things are finicky too sometimes, so when you try to pull it up, it gets stuck to the base. But let's see here. Okay, so that there is 5 pounds, and which is quite handy. Now if I want to go to the maximum weight, I just set it at 52.5. So we'll see what happens here if I pick it up. Oh, let go. So all right, that's the maximum weight right there, 52.5. Now we have gotten these stuck in the carrier at one point, and I just had to fiddle with it a little bit to get this particular carrier right here to get it to unlock. This one over here seems to be working fine, but I mean, holy cow, that's a hell of a bargain, and that's for free. And he picked them up a couple of years ago, shoved them under his bed, and when he brought them home, the first thing I told him was, don't get rid of those. Those are worth a lot of money. So anyways, yeah. Let's get these things out of the carrier and see how they feel. Oh, what I said before, now it's locked up in there. What a pain in the boot-hoo. All right, let's set these, try to wiggle these around, see if they'll unlock. And of course, that one's stuck, completely stuck. I can't get it out. This one's fine. We'll just focus on this one over here. I like having 2 weights if I can, because it just feels a little bit more natural to have a weight, held on the other side while I'm trying to lift one arm. So, yeah, that's good. Set you back in the holder. Oh. Stretching is important. We're going to try the other arm, see if I can get 10 out of that one. Good. Now what I plan on doing here, doing this exact exercise about 3 or 4 times today, and we're going to be, I want to work on these muscles here. Every little bit right now has been positive. I'm just going to keep on fasting. One thing I did do different in my diet is I had 3 fried eggs with a little bit of cheese, and that's going to give me the protein to feed my muscles as I continue to work out with these weights. this is me sitting outside contemplating life after I took that first step out the door, and feels like I almost killed myself with how my foot went. Thought I was going to go down and land on my cat. Yeah, everything would have been horrible. Just trying to take the trash out is what it is. Up, up. He's a good kitty. He's a good kitty. I hope this feels better. Now that I got my work boots on, I guess we're gonna see if I can actually walk in these things. And the reason why I'm wearing these boots is because they have those insoles and they have a lot better ankle support compared to my Reebok shoes and those Crocs. So I did a little research online and I found out why tendonitis has increased considerably since the COVID pandemic started, and that's because a lot of us we've been sitting at home. We've been doing basically nothing, and a lot of people went out and they bought these type of shoes, you know, Crocs or other flat shoes, and that's pretty much what we've been living in for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years for some of us. So yeah, I hope these boots help out a little bit today. They felt pretty decent yesterday. The reason I wasn't wearing my boots before was because of my edema. Now my edema was so bad that I couldn't even get these boots on my feet with socks on. It was impossible. There were a couple days where I had to call into work and just say, I can't come to work today. So the way this tendonitis has been working is that I have to basically stand up and just chill out for a second and kind of rock my weight back and forth a little bit. Anyways, in order, this gets my tendon kind of warmed up, and I can hopefully walk on it in the next minute or two and hobble on through the house and see how that goes. This is what I've been going through lately, guys, and oh, it's not exactly the most fun I've ever had to deal with in my life, and I'd much rather be outside filming these videos. And I mean, I can barely hobble around this place right at the moment, so every time I try to get out the door and do anything fun, or I've been talking about climbing some stairs and, you know, getting that out of the way and getting better at that. But no, I'm stuck here with my cats, which is kind of okay, but gee whiz, I'd like to get out and do something, you know, besides sit around. I'm not eating anymore like I used to, so I mean, that's a good thing. I get up and I'm kind of bored. I'm trying to figure out what to do, and I don't have very many dishes right now because my wife's not here. I mean, life's a lot simpler when there's nobody else in the house. It's just me and the cats, and the only thing I got to worry about is scooping their poop and hoping they don't revolt on me and start eating my toes while I try to sleep. Now, as you saw earlier in the video, I was taking my cat out for a walk, and that's something I do every single day. She's very demanding about her walks, and she's also got her own spot here on the kitchen table. But the best part about having a cat that wants to go outside on a leash, she was a great motivator for me to get started and moving around again. I really do appreciate her company, and she's been a whole lot of fun. Now, trying to get a cat trained on a leash, that takes a lot of time. That's a whole nother video all in itself. I mean, I could spend a month talking about that, because that's not the easiest thing to do, and you have to have a cat with the right temperament, because my other cat, she'll draw blood. Now, one thing I did want to talk about that I found pretty interesting, and I'm surprised I didn't know this earlier in life, and if I did, most likely forgot about it. But since I'm losing weight and I'm trying to figure out, like, where's all the fat going? Seriously, where's all the fat going? So I did my due diligence, and I got online and I did the Google search, and finally got an answer to, hey, where are all the fat's going? Now, as a general rule, most of us, it's pretty common, we all think relatively the same about this topic, unless of course you've been educated on it. You know, and we think since we're eating food and it's going through our system, you know, it's fat. What's going to happen to it when you start losing weight? Well, we think we're either going to get rid of it through our urine and get rid of it through our feces. Well, some of it, very small percentage of it, might go out that way. But it's really hard to believe that the majority of your fat loss is turned into carbon monoxide and exhaled through your mouth. I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit I could toss in there for, you know, this week's update. This has been an excruciatingly painful foot problem, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to deal with it. And Yeah, there's my cat. Now, once I got home, I tried on that ankle brace, and that ankle brace is way too small to fit me. So I'm just gonna say, well, I can't use the ankle brace because I mean it's really small compared to my monster size feet. And I do find that a bit unfortunate because right now I do need an ankle brace and I need something with a lot more support. And that's why I put on my work boots this morning, is because they do provide a lot more ankle support, and they kind of cup the heel in there right now, because outside we got a nice sunny day. It's a beautiful day to get out and explore and do fun stuff here in town. And I feel like if I get outside and I have a problem with my foot, I'm going to be unable to get home. So I'm a little tied up in that aspect, considering all my family's out of town. I think the best part about all of this is I've been able to lose the weight with little to no effort. I mean, besides going to work and delivering auto parts, I mean, who wouldn't want to do this? I mean, this is great. I'm still sticking with the 24-hour fasting through the week. Now, over the weekend, I was recommended to put in some carbs, just to kind of shock the system a little bit and see what it's going to do. So yesterday, on Saturday, I chose to eat a bowl of spaghetti, and it's got tomato sauce. It had, sausage and other vegetables added in the tomato sauce, and it was just regular noodles. So pasta, turns into sugar. It's a carbohydrate. We tend to store that. But since my body's metabolism has been working, and I don't know if you can see already, but I'm kind of sweating already. And the hope is that, maybe that one meal of carbs is going to, jumpstart my metabolism to get into the next level. So right now, the opinion on that is out, and we're going to find out more about that later in the week to see if it actually proven to have some benefits. Everything about weight loss is an experiment, and we all got to learn what's going to do what to our body. But one thing that the spaghetti did do to me is it pretty much made me want to just relax and not do anything and fall asleep. It instantly made me lazy. So I'm kind of tired today, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I probably fell asleep way too early, like maybe 2 or 3 hours earlier than normal. So I wound up waking up about 2:30 in the morning. And since I've been up since 2:30 in the morning, I've been trying to find stuff to do with myself. So cleaning the house, taking care of the cats, and taking the garbage out and stuff like that. That was stuff that was already on the list. But after weighing myself again, I got to thinking, I was like, wow, I still have money on my HSA account from my previous employer. Now, I didn't know what an HSA account was at that point, and I just thought it was a savings plan that, would benefit me in the future, which it did. But I didn't know much about an HSA plan, and I put a lot of money in there. So anyways, a few months after I left that employer, I had to give him a call and say, hey, whatever happened to all that money I put in this account? And, where is it and why don't I know anything about it? So the company provided me with the information to contact the company, and I contacted the company, and they let me know, hey, well, you got a substantial amount of money in here. I'm guessing you want some access to it. And then I waited about a couple of weeks, and they sent me out a card that I could use. And then shortly after that, they immediately changed the card to a different HSA account, which actually charges me to have money in my HSA. So every month there's a service fee, and every time I make a transaction, there's a service fee. It's kind of like Mother Nature's little way of screwing us out of a couple dollars at every transaction and every turn we make. But the moral of the story here is I had an HSA account, and I had some money in there. So I've been needing a new scale. So I immediately started digging into new scales on YouTube, and I've been looking on Amazon, checking out the reviews, and hitting a lot of brick walls, especially when I got into the reviews. And one thing I was incredibly surprised not to see on YouTube was a bunch of reviews for scales that weigh somebody over 300 pounds. There's really nothing out there that talks about that or says, hey, this is the best scale to use if you're over 300 pounds. Now, some of these scales had some bogus claims that they're up to 400 pounds. And then when you read in the comments for the reviews, some of these scales are rated for 400 pounds, but they're only meant for people 330 pounds and under to read accurately, or even close to accurately. I mean, it's pretty hard to step on a scale and get an accurate reading once you get over 350 pounds anyways. And as you guys have probably noticed in the previous videos, when I'm trying to get my weight on the scale using a Salter spring scale, and that thing costs about 80 bucks, that the needle's constantly doing this. I mean, it's just bing, 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 and it's really hard to get steady on there and get an accurate reading, which is extremely frustrating when you're trying to get, a decent average. I mean, we're just looking for an average here. We're not looking for perfection, but something close, within 5 pounds, not 10 pounds off like I found out once I went to the doctor. Well, I guess the most important thing is to just try to be patient with yourself and try to be patient with your equipment that you have. You can only work with what you got. And right at this very moment, that's all I got. I got that Salter scale, and it's a spring scale, so I'm just going to have to deal with the needle bouncing around until my order comes in, which should be coming in around sometime like maybe July 6th. That'll be fantastic if that shows up, and I'll definitely show you guys, you know, what I got and how it works. But in the meantime, this is the fat man sitting in the kitchen wishing he could be outside doing something fun, but I'm kind of scared to get on this foot and walk around. And if I should do so, yeah, we're definitely going to get that on video. But if you're interested in more about my weight loss journey, by all means, please subscribe and follow along, because one thing I do appreciate is other people going through the same journey I am. I got a very long road ahead of me and about another 100 pounds to come off these bones. But all in all, everything's pretty good.